I'm beginning to realize that this is the dumbest road trip I've ever done. And I've done some really dumb ones. This one, truly, unbelievably idiotic. Hi, it's David Tracy with Jalopnik. I have been taking you guys on automotive adventures now for over 6 years.
For some odd reason, last year I bought a diesel manual 250,000 mile non-running 1994 Chrysler Minivan sight unseen in Germany. Last summer I flew from Michigan to Nürnberg, fixed the vehicle, limped it through Germany's rigorous inspection, and ever since I've been putting the van to the test. But no test would be as hard as this one, a 3,500 mile road trip from Germany to Turkey and back for a wedding I'd been invited to only 12 days prior.
I'd just like to remind you all of how incredible this machine is. The diesel engine is a 2.5 liter VM Motori turbo diesel, 30 mpg. Listen to that thing, clack, 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 clack. It's amazing. Getting this thing through German inspection was very difficult, but now that it made it through, it's so reliable. I have no worries about it. Well, I have some worries about it. I bought it for $600 and I'm about to take it on a 2,500 mile trip to a country whose traffic signals I can't even read. In the van, I'm headed toward Passau and ultimately into Austria, then Hungary. Or on the Autobahn, I can drive as fast as I want, but if I'm being honest, the van wants to go about 80 miles an hour at most. Maybe I'll push it a little higher at some point, but definitely not on the way out. Okay, I just want to give you guys an idea of how crowded this checkpoint between Hungary and Serbia is. It's no joke. It is no joke. And listen to this engine. Oh, it's hard to tell, but it's running like crap. It's just vibrating all over the place in ways that it shouldn't. All right, we are in Serbia. That was a very long checkpoint, but a great test of this thing's cooling system. There are a lot of sunflowers, but otherwise there's not a whole lot here in Serbia. I would just like to point out how dim my headlights are. So notice the headlights of the cars passing by. And now look at mine. They're horrible. I have arrived at the Bulgaria checkpoint, Serbia into Bulgaria, and holy crap. Look at this. This is unbelievable. As far as the eye can see, just an endless stack of cars. Just a huge line. It's unbelievable. I'm gonna be here forever. This is absolute chaos. I mean, this is an absolute shitstorm. And it's just the line. It goes so far back. You don't even understand how far back it goes. As I sit here in this impossibly long line from Serbia into Bulgaria, I'm beginning to realize that this is the dumbest road trip I've ever done. And I've done some really dumb ones. This one, truly, unbelievably idiotic. A flight to Istanbul would have taken a few hours and cost less than the fuel and the tolls. And what's more, this is supposed to be 20 hours, but with all the traffic, it's like 30 hours. This is my nightmare. I'm at the very front of the line. There's about a 1.5 mile line behind me. I gave my passport to the person in the check counter right here. They took the passport and they seemingly went home. The guy literally grabbed his backpack and everything and literally went home. And I'm sitting here and nobody has reoccupied this office. There's a 1.5 mile line behind me. And I'm literally just sitting here and nothing's happening. I have no idea what's going on. After sitting at the front of the line for 20 minutes, a woman entered the little office and sat there for 15 minutes doing what looked like nothing until some angry Serbians yelled at her to do her job. Luckily, the guy hadn't taken my passport home, so she grabbed it,
handed it back to me, asked me if I was traveling alone, and let me on my way. That was the end of 3 hours of torture at the Bulgaria-Serbia border.
Oh, look at that sick van right there.
This is the UAZ 452, a legendary cab-forward, four-wheel drive van. The diesel engine, manual transmission, tons of ground clearance, and really awesome looks. These things have been in production for over 50 years.
Alright, so I just slept in the van, just outside of a Bulgarian gas station. It's like 6:45 or something, 6:05 something, I don't know. I have to get going because I have over 6 hours until I get to, basically I'm set to arrive at around 12 o'clock. Still over 6 hours to Istanbul. Wedding's at 7, but you know, if there's, all it takes is one really bad checkpoint and then my whole day's ruined, so, and all my timing gets thrown off. Okay, here I am at yet another checkpoint. I went through the first one from Bulgaria into Turkey, and now there's a second one. It seems like every country has 2 checkpoints and they do the same thing. They just look at your passport and let you go. Okay, we're in Turkey. Look at that old sign right there, that old Ford sign. You can't tell me that ain't cool. That was a 2.5-hour border checkpoint. I should be able to make the wedding, barely. Okay, we're entering Istanbul. I'm told that I should expect some absolutely terrible traffic. Like crazy driving, all sorts of stuff like that. This grade we're on right here is quite steep. Actually, the engine's getting kind of hot going up this hill. My brakes actually started to fail. Not fail, but fade really badly going down this hill. I guess I was too busy staring at the scenery, and I must have been riding the brakes. I could smell the brake pads, and I was touching the brakes and nothing was happening. All right, here I am just outside of Istanbul, headed to the wedding. It's along this coast here, so it's just like a 45-minute walk down the coast, so I'm excited. It's gonna be beautiful. That wedding was unbelievable. You know, I had a feeling that if I drive that arduous drive to Istanbul and go to the wedding, maybe it would be worth it. That the drive wasn't actually 20 hours, it was 30 hours. And yet somehow the wedding actually still made it worth it by far.